Here we go. 3, 2.
You know what time it is? It's This Week in Sports. It's TWIS. This Week in Sports. Riverhawks finished their first homestand here in Edmonton. The Jays are keeping it hot, just like in this house. The NHL Stanley Cup playoffs begin soon. They begin on Wednesday. I'm going to do my predictions for that. The NBA Finals, Game 5 just took place tonight. And I got a couple cool stories and stuff for This Week in Sports history. But first and foremost, may as well get into baseball. And before we get into the Blue Jays, we'll talk local here about the Edmonton Riverhawks. Caleb, you were down at the park on Sunday for Hawks and Hounds, or whatever
good
it's called.
energy, good turnout.
Yeah. But Caleb, it was trippy though, because that crowd wasn't our smallest crowd, but it was you liked the energy, but there was so much more energy in other games.
Yeah,
I think everyone was chilling because they were with their dogs and they didn't want to lose it too much.
It makes me want to go down more. Like now that the season's going, you can get me in. It's just like a fun time to chill down there.
Most definitely,
like
it really is.
Sipping beers and watching a game
in the beautiful summer sun. It's
fantastic.
Yeah, next month we have like 21 games at home,
and I will be much more free.
Yeah,
next month.
So. Well, there you go. Yeah. Exactly. Get you in. You might have to fill in for me here and there on the music because you could probably do that.
Yeah,
and but yeah, no, it was great. We split it 3 wins, 3 losses on a 6-game homestand. It was 6 games in 7 nights. Well, 7 days, I guess. There was 6 night games, or no, 5 night games, 1 day game. That last game on Sunday there, Hawks and Hounds. The first series we won in dramatic fashion. I think we discussed that in the last episode. A walk-off. It was awesome. That was our only win in that first series, 1-3 against the Pickles from Portland, and then against the Port Angeles Lefties, we took 2 or 3 the first 2 games out of the 3, and so yeah, it was really fun. It was quite the experience. There was a lot going on constantly. It felt like a small Hollywood production the way they were doing it.
It sounded good. You guys sounded like you're on top of everything.
Yeah.
It felt like the big times, and I'm just here in my home city.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because I think that screen in left field helps tremendously. And we never had that growing up with the Trappers and shit, even though it was like higher level baseball. We never had the entertainment factor like that, you know?
Yeah, and like there's never a dull moment. There's always like in between innings or whatever, there's always like something going on.
Yeah, we have like a script that we follow. We try to follow it as close as we can with different promotions and different activities going on the field. And I've been complementing that with music. I gave myself the title, the music director of Remax Field.
It's great, man. It's great.
Yeah.
It feels like baked in. It doesn't feel like it's someone behind there constantly switching.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. That's like the best compliment. I've gotten a lot, and that means a lot, man. Thanks, because that's what I try to make it sound like, you know, with the organ and shit, like the din and and shit like that, right? I try to have that in there constantly. So not constantly, not between every single pitch or whatever, but you sprinkle it around so you keep the fans engaged. If it's not visually, at least you have it audioly.
Yeah.
You know, you have it in one manner or another. So that's been really, really fun. And the fact that we've had it was 6 games in 7 nights. It felt like a lot because once I get up in the booth, like I can't really leave at a certain point. I got to be there for like the entire time, and so it goes by relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Minus there was the one game where we had a fucking rain delay, like an hour and a half rain delay, and that's what when I really realized like I need more songs. So I downloaded more songs, which I was planning on doing anyways, but I downloaded way more songs. And that really stretched our imaginations and our abilities. We were able to see our abilities in creating things on the fly because during that rain delay, we kind of used all our in-game promotions before the game while people were waiting. So we had to come up with other things during the game. Luckily, it was funny. There was some diehards there after like the hour and a half delay, and the game didn't end till like 11 o'clock or some shit. there was still people there, and like some diehard baseball people. And it was like raining and shit. It was like, holy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. And the fact that we have these diehard fans here in Edmonton, of all places.
I was excited to see people wearing Riverhawks hats and Riverhawks shirts, like whole groups of people wearing it.
Yeah.
And their kids like wearing Riverhawks.
We're selling a lot of gear, selling a lot of merch, selling a lot of jerseys too. I've noticed a lot of jerseys. I want to get a jersey. I want to get a hoodie. I want to get the gear. Hopefully I can just get some hooked up because I work there. But selling a lot of merch, and the fact this is only our first year. Well, technically the Riverhawks were established in 2020, right? But then COVID happened and all that shit, so it just got delayed. But so this is our first time. This is our first season playing games, and yeah, it's already been really, the first 6 games at home have been really, really awesome. And that game on Friday, there was a game on Friday where we had fireworks and after the game, and we won that game, and it was so much fun. It was one of the better productions, one of the better things I've ever been a part of, and I came out of there like on a high. I was like, holy cow, this is what I meant to do. This is what I want to do. I want to be part of this. And the fact that, I was like a part of the production and a part of putting that entertainment factor together, it was great. And then just to top it all off, having the fireworks at the end there was just great. And so we were planning on just having the fireworks, I think, on the one Friday and then seeing how it goes. But based on the price of them and how good the turnout was and how well the game was and the whole experience, I think we're going to be doing more Fridays in July as well.
Nice.
But also July 1st, if you guys are in the city, anyone listening, go down to the ballpark July 1st because they're the best seats in the house for the Canada Day fireworks, hands down.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, because the fireworks are like right there.
Right.
Right? And you get both bridges, you get it all, and you get the freaking fireworks right there.
One side of the field.
No, you can see it from everywhere, every seat.
You think?
The right hand you're looking right. The other one you look straight.
Right. No, now I remember
it's
where
like,
it is.
Yeah, because it's right by Kinsman. They set it off in Kinsman.
In Kinsman Park, yeah.
Kinsman Park, right in front.
Right.
Yeah, so it's the best seats in the house. I will not be in the city on July 1st for those games.
Give me your fob.
Yeah, where I could leave the fob. Well, you got to come to those other games before then, to kind of so you're not a stranger to everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been up in the booth.
Well, I know, but there's new guys too, and
right.
New ticket takers and whatnot, and new staff just around the bottom and shit. But like everyone's getting to know me. It's crazy. I feel like almost like a superstar when I go through there. The lady at the concession was giving me a deal the other day. The guy down at the one beverage center recognizing me, and so yeah, the players are recognizing me and whatnot. It's pretty cool. So I can't wait to build on these relationships going further. But yeah, July 1st, best seats in the house for fireworks. I'll be away doing Super Series Indian Relay that weekend, which I'm super excited for too. But yeah, if you're going to be in the city, you may as well go check out the fireworks at Remax. Check out a ball game.
Are they going to have like concession and stuff on the 1st?
No, they'll have everything. No, there's a game there.
Oh, there's a game going on too.
Yeah, there's a game, bro. Yeah.
Nice.
No, in July there's like 20 games out of the 30 days. Well, home games. We only go on like 6 road games in July. So, and then if we make the playoffs, the playoffs will be in August. So hopefully we can string some wins together and have a good July coming up. The Blue Jays, in other baseball news though, they are on fire. The bats have waken up. Charlie Montoya, our manager, was saying that it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before the bats wake up. He knew it. He's like, this team's too good. He kept saying that. He's like, this team's too good for them not to be this shitty all year. And sure enough, since the end of like May 28th or something, I seen a stat today. We're first in the majors in all the offensive categories there is. So cheers to the Blue Jays. They won, I think 10-1 today. 11-1. 11-1 today.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good that they're finally, they're finally hot again. They're second in the division, and they would be a lot closer to first in any other division in baseball, but the Yankees are still hot as fuck. They're 9-1 in their last 10. The Yanks are, and I mean it's still early, but we're 8.5 back of first, and we're the second place team. But we're 8.5 games back. It's freaking crazy how phenomenal the Yankees are playing this year so far early. But today Vladdy hit a milestone, becoming the youngest J in franchise history, the youngest one to hit 250 RBIs. Give him some love, Caleb.
How old is he?
He's 23. He's 23 years old and
wow.
89 days. So he just turned 23 a couple months ago. He's got 250 RBIs already. Oh my God. Okay, so that's fucking crazy. If you put it like that, he's got 250 RBIs before he turned 20. When he's 23, he's gonna have 500 by what? 26? And then what? 1,000 by 32.
The GOAT.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. If he continues on his trajectory, obviously he's going to be a Hall of Famer, just like his pops were. And his pops actually played at TWIS Field back when it was called TWIS Field.
Yeah.
Vladimir Guerrero Sr., one of my favorite players.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he because the Trappers, the Edmonton Trappers, were the AAA affiliate of the Montreal Expos before the Expos left and dipped to Puerto Rico where they played a lot of their games, and then before they went to Washington, and that's where they are now.
Interesting.
Yeah, but so Vladdy Sr., he played a few rehab games, a few rehab stints in AAA because that's how they kind of get you up to speed after you're back from an injury. They bring you up through the minors again. You have a few games, right?
Yeah. To
get back into game form. So it's cool that I'm working there at Remax at a place where one of my favorite all-time players played, and a lot of major league players played. It's just crazy. Never what I thought when I was a kid I'd be there. But the Vlads are always killing it. I guess Guerrero has some brothers that look like some younger brothers that are looking really good, and they might be in the bigs too, which would be they're like younger. They're like 14, 15, 16. But I've seen some highlights of them. They obviously come from good genes, the Guerreros. But could you imagine having two of them on the team? That'd be nuts. So yeah, the Blue Jays, they improved to 9 games over 500, or no, 12 games over 500. Sorry. And for the first time this season, we got a record of 36-24. We played the Orioles again tomorrow, the second of 4 games in Toronto against the Orioles, and then the big test is a big test here in June against the Yankees coming up this weekend. Those would be some good games to watch. It feels good to be watching the Jays again. I was missing so many Jays games because of the Oilers, and all my fucking attention was to the Oilers, and all my energy was to the Oil, and cheering them on. I missed a lot of the Jays games when they were starting to get hot, but now that I'm watching it again, it's good to see them. A lot of them are hitting consistently. Pitching's I never really had an issue with the pitching. The pitching's been all right, but the bats have come alive.
They just need you to start watching again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they needed the whole country to start watching again because I guarantee a lot of the country wasn't even watching outside of like Toronto, right? Because the Oilers, the last Canadian team in it, last week. I'm over it. The better team won, but we may as well get into the NHL. So my one prediction from the East came true. I said Tampa in 6. Tampa took it in 6 over New York. I'm going to tally all my series predictions, and I have 9, 10 out of the possible. What is it? 8 plus 4, 12 plus 2, 14. 9 out of 14. That's pretty fucking good. If I was able to bet money on that shit, I'd be making money there. 9 out of 14? Yeah, dude. And I've been calling a lot of these games. I said Tampa in 6, and it was Tampa in 6 over New York. I said Edmonton in 6, but like we were talking about, that there was some bias there, obviously. And it was Colorado who swept us.
It turned out to be Edmonton in 8, but That's just not how the rules go.
Oh yeah. If you got another chance, I don't know. Colorado is a really good team, so it's going to be a hell of a fucking series. And I'm gonna call it right now. I'm glad I discussed this with my buddy Strickland earlier because it took me some time to think about it. But I think Tampa's going to three-peat because they have the experience. Oh, that's gonna be. We're gonna have to go through Colorado again next year. We're gonna have to, and we're gonna have to beat them. But I'm saying for the Stanley Cup Final, Tampa Bay is gonna win it in 7. It's going to Game 7. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy series. Tampa Bay's gonna win it in 7, or Vasilevsky's gonna steal a few games, and they're gonna like win it in 5. But I think Tampa's gonna win it because they have the experience. They've been there 3 years in a row. They've won the last 2. They've been in the playoffs. The only downside is for Tampa is they've played a lot of hockey because they've been in the playoffs like 4 years in a row and going to the 2 Stanley Cup Finals and winning them. It's a lot of hockey, but they have the experience. They have the best goalie, hands down, in the National Hockey League, and Andrei Vasilevsky. So I'm saying Tampa in 7. And this Stanley Cup Final, actually, this is going to be the first Stanley Cup Final, believe it or not, Caleb, since 1979. Let me pull this thing up. Since 1979. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Yeah. First Stanley Cup Final since 1979 that will not include a Jaromir Jagr teammate. Jaromir Jagr, he played in the league forever and ever.
Yeah.
And even though he didn't enter the league until 1990, he played with some of the guys that were in the Stanley Cup Final before then, right?
Okay.
And since he left the league in what was it, 2015, something like that, 2016, and he's still every single year since 1980, there's been a player that was a Jagr teammate, a future or a past Jagr teammate that has been in the final, and this is the first time that hasn't happened since a lot of us were born. So that's a crazy, crazy stat. It just shows you how long Jagr played for and how many great players he played with and great teams he played with throughout the years. And he's still playing. The dude's like almost 50. I think he might be 50, and he's playing over in the Czech league because he owns the team. And I remember seeing a stat. He said, I'm the reason why a lot of people come and watch the games. And if I didn't play, this team might go under. So he's doing it for like his team, and he's hardcore.
That's crazy.
But he's also like the most solid dude. Like I seen a picture of him a couple years ago. It's outside a pool, and the dude's like looks like a fucking Spartan warrior at like 47, 48 years old.
He's huge, right?
He's jacked, and he's like an old man. Technically speaking. But yeah, so he's still rocking it over there. Oh yeah, just some other news in the Oilers field. We all heard Mikko Koskinen. He's out as the Oilers goalie. He's signed in the Swiss League, I think. The Swiss League, one of those other countries that start with an S.
Somewhere in Scandinavia.
Yeah. I think it's Swiss League or something. Because his contract was up here, and so thanks for the good times, Mikko.
Sweden.
Was it Sweden?
Pretty sure it's Sweden. I heard it was Sweden.
Might have been Sweden, yeah. Anyways, it's over in Europe, and so thank you for the good games, and fuck you for the shitty first shots you would give up as a goal in how many games. But you did have a lot of good times here in Edmonton, so Mikko, if you're listening, I know you are. Enjoy your time in Europe, and hopefully some success over there. Mike Smith, excuse me. Mike Smith is supposed to, I guess the management gave him a deadline to decide on his retirement. Same with Duncan Keith, because he has one more year left. But I think either way, we are going to be signing another goalie. We're going to be signing a goalie on the free agent. We have to. I've been saying this every fucking year, man. But we have to now because Mikko is gone. So the person who's going to immediately take Mikko's spot is Stuart Skinner, but he's just a kid, right? Last year was his first few games in the league. And then Mike Smith, who's on the opposite side of the spectrum, who's like 40, turning 41. That's old, especially in goalie years. So we gave him a kind of like a deadline to decide whether he's going to retire or not. If he doesn't retire, he's probably going to play backup to whoever we sign again, whoever we sign off the free agent market. So obviously he realizes that, and so he's probably going to weigh his options. If I had to bet on it, I would say he's probably going to retire, and Stuart Skinner would be our backup, and we have to sign a big name goalie. I seen John Gibson was asking for a trade or whatever, so he's a good goalie there. But he's $6.5 million a year. Don't know if we can afford that, because I really want to see us sign Evander Kane, but he released a statement about a week ago, kind of just thanking the fans, the organization, and the city, and for like treating him so well, and and he actually said in his post-season interview that this is the best franchise he's ever played for is Edmonton Oilers.
Stick around, man.
Yeah, but he also said, he's quoted saying this: for the Oilers, the number he'd be looking at starts with a 7, but with other teams on the open market, he said it starts with an 8. So he will take a discount for the Oilers, like I called earlier, because I guarantee he loved it so much here, obviously, right? So he'll take a discount here, and I thought he was going to be around the $7 million mark anyways, right? So give him $7 million over 2 years, boom.
Where's he from?
He is Canadian.
Oh, well, isn't he's used to the weather, and
yeah, he's from Vancouver, I believe.
Oh,
If
well, he's not used to the Edmonton weather.
Hold on, I got to double check here. I'm like 80% sure he's from the Lower Mainland there in.
We have very cozy.
Yeah, he was born in Vancouver. Yeah, exactly.
We have very cozy Christmases. Just spend the winter here. I think you'll like it.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
We like you.
No, we love him here, and he knows that. He realizes that, right? People really want him to stay. So he was making $6 million his last contract. Obviously, there's a lot of shit going on with the San Jose Sharks too. He filed a grievance and whatnot, so that has to get resolved too before he hits the open market or hits any market. That has to be resolved before he signs another contract. That grievance that he filed against the San Jose Sharks, sorry. So that's first and foremost. That has to be taken care of. But we're gonna have some shuffling to do in the offseason here, as far as freeing up some money to get a goalie, freeing up some money to perhaps, hopefully, sign Kane, and hopefully we're able to get Kane and get a really good goalie, and I think we'll be laughing, because I don't see us taking a step back. We were right there. We were so close. Top Final Four. We got beat by Colorado, who's the best team in the West. So we kind of know what it takes to get to that point, to the Western Conference Final, and what it will take to get to the next step. We'll have to push even further next year. And like I said, I don't see us as taking a step back. I see us going Stanley Cup Final next year, maybe the Cup the following year. Who knows? It's right there. We could almost taste it. We could almost feel it as Oilers fans. So, it's quite the season. I think I said this last time, so I'm proud of the boys. But Stanley Cup Final coming up this week. Like I said, Tampa in 6. Tampa in 7. Sorry, I was reading my last series predictions. Frick, I'm good at this. Next year, I swear, man, I'm going to be betting on all these series, because I was good at predicting them. NBA Game 5 happened tonight. It was Golden State. They came out to an early lead in the first half. The Celtics came back hardcore in the third quarter to take the lead, and then I watched the second half. The Warriors in the fourth quarter just took it back over, and they won quite handily by a score of internet. Why don't you fucking work? Oh my god, dude! Do you ever have this problem with our internet, Killer, with our Wi-Fi, where it sometimes just doesn't work? The Wi-Fi specifically.
I only have problems with internet.
Yeah. So Warriors won by 10, 104-94. They take this fifth game of the series, lead 3-2. I really wanted. Oh yes. Oh, we got really good news at the end here. I really wanted Celtics to win, but it's gonna be hard now. They're gonna win 2 in a row, but they have done that before. I see it going to 7. Quote me on that. It's going 7. So by the next time I check in, that series may or may not be done, but it'll at least hopefully be going to 7 games. Oh yeah, and actually, Golden State won tonight, scoring 104, and Steph Curry didn't even hit a 3. He was like 0 for 7 shooting threes, which is the first time in his NBA career he's never got a 3-pointer in a playoff game. But they were still able to win, so they have a championship team there. They do. The Raptors had to beat them actually 3 years ago to bring it into TWISH. 3 years ago, on This Week in Sports History, the Toronto Raptors, June 13th, 2019, win their first NBA title in franchise history. I'll never forget that day. I was watching it where the Edmonton Stingers play in Expo Center A, and it was actually so great. It was so much fun, and I remember like cruising around downtown, like we were like blaring horns, White Ave, and everybody. Like we weren't even in like Toronto, and everyone was so hyped because that was the first championship in Canada, in outside of the Grey Cup, obviously, but that's just Canadian. First championship since it was the Blue Jays, I think. Yeah, the Blue Jays in '93. So that was the first championship of second championship of my life, but that was when I was like baby in '93.
Yeah, that was a crazy day.
Yeah, so I remember cruising around, then going up to check Naomi because she lives downtown. My sister Naomi, and they could just hear horns all night. It was awesome, so good. So that was 3 years ago. Then a day in Canadian sports history that will go down forever and ever as one of the best. Also, on a personal note, a year ago is when I first started formulating this plan of getting into sports broadcasting. And a year ago, I think, what was it? On June 9th, 1 year ago, I talked to John Sexsmith of Global News, the sports anchor. And he gave me a lot of advice. And he kind of was one of the first dominoes to fall for me to really start pursuing this sports broadcasting, and what ultimately led to this podcast, because a few days after I spoke with John Sexsmith, he gave me Bob Stauffer's number, who is the Oilers. You see him everywhere. Bob Stauffer, he's on Sportsnet, he's on 630 Ched, he's got his own show and everything. Sexsmith gave me Stauffer's number. Stauffer gave me a lot of good advice. He was great dude. No bullshit with Stauffer. He's like right to the point. You can tell he's like as real as it gets. And he gave me Cam Moon's number, who obviously has been on the podcast, and I consider a good friend now. And he actually came down to the ballpark the other day.
I saw him.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was a little too far away to wave at, but I saw him.
Oh, shit, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. He came up to the booth. I think it was a different game. He came up to the booth as well. And, so after speaking with him, I don't know if you remember, I was speaking with them that morning on the front steps. It was a beautiful June morning. And I came in, I'm like, Caleb, we were talking about doing podcasts anyways, but I was like, you know what? I want to do a sports podcast, because I was just kind of just spitballing ideas with Cam Moon on the phone. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll do a sports podcast or something, because we're planning on doing a sports podcast anyways. We have the mics, we have all this shit anyway. And so from there, that's where the idea started. And I'll never forget, that day talking to Cam Moon and Bob and Sexsmith a few days earlier, and really getting inspired to do this. And look at me, a year later, I'm freaking got the Riverhawks, and I got Super Series Indian Relay. So it's actually quite incredible that it's been already a year of doing these. It's not quite a year though. I'm hoping to get to 52 by the time it's a year of This Week in Sports, but I don't think we will, because we'll have to do like one every day. But we'll get close, because we had to skip a few weeks and shit. It happens. But we'll be close enough. And it's been a hell of a journey so far. And I appreciate anyone who's listening throughout the year. And I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm not going to stop.
Great.
Yeah. One last thing in This Week in Sports History and TWISH. June 12th, 1970. So that is 52 years ago. Pirates pitcher Doc Ellis did something that most would consider impossible. He threw a no-hitter in the MLB while on LSD. Yeah. And there's like a documentary or something about this, or some documentation of how he did this. And
there's a secret right there.
It's fucking crazy. He threw a no-hitter while fucking high on LSD. I can't even imagine that. Like
he was probably able to visualize what his muscles and stuff knew as memory, you know? Because you have those connections sometimes when you're in those states that like those muscle memories and everything.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good theory.
Yeah. I mean, it is just a theory, but like I could totally see him focusing extra.
Yeah.
Because now he has another kind of way of looking at it.
Yeah. No, quite possibly. It's just crazy. I remember hearing about that, and then I seen it on the feed. I had to take a screenshot because, that was there's like myths and legends. Like, did that actually happen? Yeah, it's documented that he was, and he admitted to it and all that. Nowadays, I don't think you can get away with it because there's a lot of drug testing now, right?
How did it even come out?
I don't know. I have no idea. Probably just interviewing after. I think he said it in the post-game interview, to be honest with you.
Damn.
Yeah, he was probably still high. He's like, I'm high as a motherfucker.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a special announcement for you tonight. Our pitcher is actually out of his mind right now. So enjoy that.
But so that'll go down in infamy as one of the craziest sports performances ever in history of sports. And that concludes This Week in Sports History. TWISH. That concludes TWIS This Week in Sports. Appreciate you all listening. And go Jays, go. Hopefully Game 7 in both finals. That includes the NBA and the NHL. I'm calling Tampa. I'm still calling Boston in 7. Fuck it. And can't wait for the Riverhawks to get back. Come check us out at the Remax Field. Till next time. Peace.